Okay, so what are some magic wand substitutes? In the previous video from this series, I spoke about healing or actually unblocking sexual energy and erotic energy, but I focused a lot more on the physical, giving solutions, than on the energetic. So I want to zoom in today just on the energetic. If you're one of my followers that is really grounded, pragmatic, concrete, science-based oriented, this discussion is not for you, okay? It's for the people that are understanding the spiritual approach to sexuality, that understand energy, that can feel. There are ways in which you can feel your energy. I did not go into this in the definition. They understand the notion of expanded consciousness while engaging in intimacy. So this one comes in the same package with the spiritual practices. So for those people that are facing sexual energy blocks or erotic energy blocks, this video is just for you. If you're new here, hi, this is Liana, Holistic Intimacy Coach. Welcome to my channel. Here, I help you get your orgasmic intimacy. In this video, I'm going to talk about all the alternative practices to the magic wand approach. I'm going to expand a bit on the magic wand. I mentioned this also in part 3 of the sexual energy series, but I'm going to mention it here as well. There are many people, especially women, that for whatever reason, they have it in their minds, because we don't really understand blockages, they have it in their minds that their energy is blocked. Maybe somebody told it to them, maybe they started applying this label on themselves. And naturally, they seek to unblock their sexual energy. And what do most male practitioners understand by unblocking their energy? Having sex with them. And sadly, there are many situations in healing sessions, neo-tantric healing sessions, where practitioners abuse this role. The magic wand, it's not the wand that is magic, okay? We do not understand the notion of healing, and therefore, we gotta back a bit. We do not understand the notion of energy, our energy. It's us. Our being has the capacity to block itself and unblock itself. Our being blocks itself as defense mechanisms. Okay? Whenever we're going through something, like I mentioned in the previous video, something that is beyond our capacity to handle, manage, deal with at the time that is happening, our entire being, whether it's energetic structures, nervous system, emotional capacity, mental capacity, and so on, it shuts down. It does this to preserve itself. This is a defense mechanism. This is nature's and all of creation's way to protect your existence in critical situations. Blockages are not blamable. Blockages happen sometimes. Your being blocks itself in order to protect itself from something. You got to trust your wisdom, your higher being's wisdom, the wisdom of the universe that has made it possible for us to block, shut down, withdraw as defense mechanisms. Okay, we got to have respect for that, first and foremost. Secondly, your entire being has the capacity to unblock itself. Please wrap your brain around this. You do not necessarily need much from the outside. And certainly nobody from the outside can do the healing, the unblocking, the awakening, the whatever you want to call it. Nobody does this in your place. Can they support you? Absolutely. Can they help you? Absolutely. And this is how it should be regarded. Can they hold space for you? Absolutely. But do they do the healing? No way. Your being, body, heart, psycho-emotional capacity, energetic capacity, and so on, that's what does the healing. Healing is only on the inside. And it's valid for everybody. Nobody heals us from the outside. One of the ways in which people get it wrong is when they apply the principle of the magic wand, okay? They decide that they have to, or that they can fuck, and because they fuck the person, it is their wand that is magic, nobody else's, and they're the ones to unblock your sexual energy. That is bullshit. That is a lower level of consciousness of understanding healing. Those people, in my personal opinion, they are sexual, erotic, and energetic retards. Yes. Nobody heals you from the outside. Nobody's wand is magic. Your body and your being is magic. If we want to look at the concept of magic. So when you wrap this thing in your brain and in your entire being, you are then, in my opinion, ready to either heal yourself or seek support to heal yourself. That is, even if you're the person that is blocked for whatever reason, okay, shut down for protection and preservation purposes, trust the higher intuition, you're still the one that will unblock itself, open itself back up, rise up, or whatever. When you truly understand this, you're ready to get support. What kind of support? Okay, let's look at a few methods. This is not an exhaustive list. I do not have an exhaustive list. I haven't tried all the methods out there, but from my knowledge and my experience, this is what I can speak of. Self-healing, first of all. That is when you activate, so when you summon your own capacities to heal energetically. If you're walking on a spiritual path, you understand this. If you've done enough meditation, enough practices, breath work especially, but not just, or any other embodiment practices, you will already intuitively know and feel into your body's capacity to open up, to heal itself. And then you understand that you can summon it in words, in intentions, through breathwork practices, okay? We can do that whenever the time is right for us to do this. Okay, so that's one. You summon your own healing capacities. Your body's and energetic being's capacity to restore itself. First one. Healing starts from within, so the first practices are going to be within. Secondly, like I mentioned here, breath work. Yes, if you do this long enough, and I think Wim Hof is one of the people that was injected with a virus, Helicobacter. I'm going to have to look this one up and see what it's called in English, but he was injected with a virus, and he voluntarily subjected himself to that in order to show that with his modalities, and he has breathwork in it, he can clean the virus out of his system. Now, as above, so below, like I was mentioning in the first video where I was defining sexual and erotic energy, what we can do in the physical, we can also do in the energetic, and vice versa. So, breath work is another way in which you activate whatever needs to be activated from within. If you have no idea of what I'm talking about, so for whatever reason, you've decided to stick with me the 10 minutes already, okay, it might sound alien to you. It might sound simplistic. It might sound woo-woo. Thank God for people like Wim Hof who can actually prove it in science. Okay, thank God for that. Another modality, one that I have seen and I am still in the beginning to work with, restructured water. There's only one company, I'm not going to promote that company. There's only one company on this planet that has ISO certificates for their machines or devices that restructure water. It's not just filtering water, it is restructuring it. there's only one company that has ESO certificates, and it is used in alternative clinics where people can heal themselves. What I'm talking about here is the 11.5 pH water, super alkaline. That water you do not drink. You only use on the outside. Much like it's used, for those of you that know, when you have foods, whether it's vegetables, fruits, leaves, any other things that you can eat, and you want to re-energize them, cleanse them, extract all the chemicals from within, you plunge them into super alkaline water, 11.5 pH, and you keep them there for somewhere 15 to 20 minutes. And you get to see the water changing colors and so on. Imagine that you can do that with your entire being also. And when you work on your physical, you also work on your energetical. Okay, that is another modality. You don't do this on your own though. You do it with guidance. So your body's still the one that is doing the healing from within, but you are guided. Somebody's there with you. Okay, there are conditions in which you do this. So everything that I'm mentioning here is stuff that I'm also trying, but I'm not trying them on my own, like an egoistic or just this vain and overly egotic, person that thinks that, oh, I can do it on my... No, there are some procedures that need supervision, specialized. Another therapy that I'm using also currently, and I've never, this one was a total surprise for me, light therapy. I ended up doing this by accident, really. Somebody guided me to a substance that I thought it was going to help me cleanse my body. That one was actually used just for cleaning tobacco and dealing with the tobacco dependence, and that was not my case. But because I reached out to the person that is providing them in my home country, and I told her, look, this is my situation. Somebody guided me towards this product. I'm not seeing much detail there, aside the fact that it's for relinquishing tobacco dependence, and I don't have that. I have a different issue. Can you please clear this up for me? So I started doing light therapy. I've done only one session so far. I am having when you do light therapy, you're supposed to wait 3 weeks until you ever try anything else. Ideally, you want to go with therapy, like the amount of time that you and your facilitator will decide. I'm still in the first 3 weeks. I'm still downloading stuff. And it's stuff, okay, what lies, okay, mental thought forms, what lies behind poor decisions, poor choices, ways in which you engage in situations that ultimately affect you and your entire energetic structure. So it does make sense to look at, okay, you're working with consciousness there. The stuff that I'm trying to work on is just something that nobody has treatment for right now. I'm not going to get into the discussion. It's related to what's been going on the past 2 years. But I've decided to cleanse myself energetically, emotionally, psychologically, physically, as much as I can of that. Whoever's open enough will understand this. And yeah, I'm dealing also with my sexual energy has also been affected, as other parts of myself. So light therapy is another modality. It was total shocker for me, total surprise. Thank God I was open enough to go there and feel for myself, okay, I'm down. It's not easy. It's not that somebody sits there and projects light onto you with whatever messages, because there's an entire modality here. It's not, that was the easy part. What happens afterwards in the 3 weeks in which it still works, boy, that's not an easy job. But thank God I don't believe in handouts, okay, here, do this and you're healed. No. The reason I don't believe in those things, I don't believe in the magic wand, is because that takes all the power from you and puts it onto somebody's genitalia or somebody's, I don't know what other tools they use. You can use here for any kind of, like magic wand can also be not just penises of men, gurus, but also any other modality that people come to you and say, yeah, do this and it will heal you. No way. You heal yourself. So light therapy, you have a lot to work with there. Other things that I know of, and this one is, well, I was lucky enough to live this one out. From Native American cultures, I've interacted with only one culture, Lakota people. And what I've interacted with essentially was Hamlechea, the vision quest, and the guide, Lakota native man, trained from a young age into the modality, who has done many vision quests. Okay, he was guiding the entire event, the fire ceremony, the holy pipe ceremony, and I have also seen him do an what do you call it? Not an energetic cleanse. It was a, for lack of a better word, an exorcism. You know, until I saw that, because we were all witnesses in that event. We were invited to hold space, help him and help the person that he was working with. People, I have never in my life had I thought that that was possible. But when you're working with energy and energy blocks, sometimes, yeah, there's stuff that science cannot explain. And sometimes those modalities, when you extract other energetic beings from somebody's body, like, I'm a very grounded person, always been. Structured, organized, science-based, you show me the evidence and I believe it. Yeah, when I witnessed that with my own eyes, and this was 2018, this is, I've not spoken about this because, you know, I never had the opportunity. I was like, wow, this is possible. I cannot believe this. They also have the sweat lodge, and I went into the sweat lodge only once, but I think this one you have to also be able to withstand all the heat. I can't. Like, for me, my body, it's not a good match. But their modalities, so Native American shaman modalities, super powerful. Another modality, again, I was lucky enough to be guided by a Native American guide. It was Madre. Yep, I'm not going to use the word. If you know your stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I only did one session with Madre. It is super intense, super powerful, and your entire body will burn from within. It's like it burns from your spine to inside your bones, outside it radiates. It is a heavy, heavy stuff to carry. Now, I went there, and I went there at the suggestion of a friend. She had done many Madre ceremonies. I only did once. It was really intense for my body. Thank God it was a beautiful experience for me. Like, I was laughing all along. Laughing, smiling. Okay, my inner child, my little Andrea, because when I was a kid I wasn't using the Liana name. So little Andrea came up, and I was like in all my glory. I kid you not, that was me. I was a glorious little girl. And I stayed, like, everybody was throwing up, God knows, you know, whatever they were going through. I was laughing, going like, I was a super, super laughing kid when I was really young. And it just, something inside me mobilized the glorious Andrea. So, yeah, that one, it had a reason, it had a purpose for which I went there, and it totally worked for me. Not everybody understands it, and there are some people who are going like ceremony after ceremony after ceremony, years and years, and it's like, man, it's not the point. Why? Probably because they're still waiting for something to come from the outside. That's why in the beginning, I use this, until you understand that you have the capacity and your being has the capacity to heal itself, no modality is gonna truly work for you, because it does require efforts and presence and truly your awareness into that process. So the first step, where you empower yourself from within, that's vital. Otherwise, no modality is going to work for you. Next, from the Hindu tradition, there are Kriya Yoga, and Kundalini activation. That one I have not done. I will be honest, I tried, but I didn't resonate much with the Hindu tradition, partly because my sexual abuse back in 2014, before I started this work. I started this work in 2016. In 2014, I went through my sexual abuse. It came from a man that had studied with the Shivananda Yoga School. I later found out from Matthew Remski's articles, Shivananda is one of the schools where abuse is being practiced and taught. So this guy used spiritual abuse and then also sexual abuse, psychological, emotional abuse, all forms. So I did not, soon after, a few months afterwards, I did go to, we have a very famous yoga school here in our country. I could not, for the love of God, I couldn't relate to it, couldn't relate to yoga, no. That doesn't mean that Kundalini activations done in sessions do not work. What I will say here, which I've said also in previous videos, if you go for brutal, sudden activations, your entire nervous system is going to blow up, meaning it's going to be short-circuited and hyper-activated, and it's going to feel like your entire body burns. Okay, the last person I engaged with as partners and also collaborators, he had one of those brutal, wild Kundalini activations. And for several months afterwards, he had to do practices daily because he felt his entire body was firing up. That's not a normal, harmonious activation, though. Okay, and if you don't know what you're doing and you just go to those places and you end up with somebody who's not conscious enough to evaluate, okay, is this person ready to go through this practice and have their Kundalini activated and not freak out and not get because you can somatize. If your nervous system is triggered, activated, hyper activated, you can somatize all sorts of illnesses because the nervous system is connected to all the organs, all your body. The nervous system is the central operating system. Brain and nervous system, brain, backbone, nerves. These are not for everybody. As for direct sexual unblocking, okay, there are two modalities that I've heard of. I've tried both once in several years apart, one from the other. One of them is called de-armoring, and the other one is Karsai Neikung. Both of these modalities are actually genital massages to unblock, localize sexual blockages, energy blocks. Now, in the case of the de-armoring massage that I've experienced, it was applying pressure, yes, with clitoral stimulation for pleasure, because otherwise it would have been extremely painful, on the outside of the vagina, sometimes also on the inside, wherever there is actual pain somatized. That one is extremely direct and also brute, if that's what I'll call it. I don't think it's for everybody. And I don't think it is actually done that way, in a healing way. I don't believe in applying brute force, whether it's just hitting the nail on the head, figuratively speaking. So applying pressure right where you have a tension in a painful spot. I believe in working your way closely towards that region, but discharging and relaxing, detensing all the muscles around it. So for my own life, never ever will I go to a de-armoring practice again. No, thank you. Karsai Ne Kung, definitely enjoyed it. It was done by a woman also. She was trained in the Tao Garden, the Mantak Chia place. I've never been there. But this woman, okay, Romanian woman, trained there in this massage. Totally beautiful experience. Safe also for me. Like I can't describe it. It's like the de-armoring that I've experienced next to the Karsai Ne Kung, it was like this level compared to this one. Like super high quality, and I had a beautiful, relaxing experience all throughout. And yes, I definitely, because we do store tension in our bodies, unless we work with ourselves, but sometimes we also need some support from the outside. So yeah, when we understand this concept, I think we attract better facilitators, practitioners, better human resources to help us. So for me, Karsai Ne Kung, definitely would recommend it. De-armoring, not for me. No, thank you. Are there other practices? Absolutely. Okay, meditations, energy healing, pure energy healing. I've not yet tried those. Maybe there will be a time for me to try them out. But I do believe that there's what's important here when you're looking at unblocking sexual and erotic energy blocks, and you understand the concept. One, do you really understand that you're healing from within? And everything external is a support, an aid, but something happens inside of you because you're the primary source here. That's one. Number two, how much do you understand the ethical ways in which everything is done so that you can recognize who the healthy practitioners are for you? Do I believe that you can have healing while engaging intimately with somebody? Absolutely. Do I believe that the gurus that have a line at their door, okay, there are places where this happens. Women are going and standing in line to be fucked by the guru so that they can have their chakras open and activated, so that they can have their kundalini awakened, so that they can have their sexual energy unblocked. Do I believe in that? No. No. Does it happen with somebody that you love, that you trust, that you feel empowered with? Absolutely. Does it happen with somebody that you would naturally engage with? Absolutely. Do I believe that I specifically go to some guy that most of these gurus I would never touch, like personally. I wouldn't accept them to touch me either. I think most of them, they are fat, they are old. That's what I see in them. I'm sorry. I would never ever in a billion years would I let them touch me. Do I believe that some fat guy like that would awaken my energy? No, thank you. No way. Call me whatever. I don't call myself a master, okay? I'm being truthful here. Would I experience, and did I, ask me that, did I experience healing while engaging intimately with somebody? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Not some fat old guru, though. No, this guy was, well, a bit younger than I was, thin, in shape, somebody that I naturally felt attracted to, somebody that I trusted, so yes. Was that a tantric experience? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to get into details. I've lived this, and not just once. I've lived it, I've seen it, I know it. Am I going to be in some guy's line at the door to, pay for this guy to fuck me and then open my energy? No, thank you. No. And why I'm using these brute words in the end, because I don't know how many people are going to be here for 30 minutes to listen to this. But check out in the previous videos, I'm going to put them also as comments under this one. Check those articles out. It's not, would I be able to heal somebody? No. Would I support like the right guy that needed my assistance in intimacy? If I felt drawn to him and he would feel drawn to me, and if the connection was there, I could be a support. Yes. Would I have a line of men at my... Never. Jesus. That's not the way how to do things. It's not. I know that nowadays we're fast. Come on, this is the new age. We don't have to wait like we did in the old times and have things lasting for God knows how much time. I know that this is going on out there, but people, we don't purchase a healing session. We don't order it from Amazon or eBay or Etsy or God knows where else. Like we order a piece of like a lamp or clothing or fitness apparel or so on. It's not that. We don't order pizza, okay? We're showing at the door. We're going to buy something from the supermarket. It's not like that. I understand we're in this age where we think that everything's going to happen fast. But man, our nature is not like that. And I don't believe in cyborgs and changing ourselves to God knows what artificial way. No way. So if you ever experience a healing, self-healing while you're engaging intimately with somebody, that's beautiful. It's supposed to be like that when you engage with people that you genuinely love, and you engage with them because you feel like it, not because you're chasing the purpose of opening your chakras, activating your kundalini, awakening your sexual and erotic consciousness, and I don't know, merging with the universe. Those are, if you seek that primarily, I would work on myself. That's what I would suggest. Okay, if that's what you want, start working on yourself. If you seek another so that you can have this experience, you might not have it. Okay? I'm sorry to, spoil the fun for you, but it might happen, it might not happen. The way in which you engage intimately with somebody is because you feel it. You genuinely feel it. And I'm definitely one of the energetic types, or demisexual as they're called in the kinky world. I need a strong emotional bond and not to mention strong physical attraction. It's like you can be the greatest person. If I'm not attracted to you physically, forget it. You're not going to touch me. I'm not going to touch you. And I feel that this is how it should be. You gotta truly want the person, and they gotta truly want you and feel you and vibe with you, connect with you, just, so that they can truly merge with you in an authentic way. Okay, let's talk about authentic, energetic sexual liberation and so on. Let's talk about authentic stuff. It's not the stuff that you can purchase like that anywhere. So, if you've been here with me all the 36, 37 already minutes, awesome. I hope that this video truly helped you. Now, if you're one of the really concrete, science-based people that stayed here just to laugh at me, man, I am so sorry for you. It's like, why would you waste that time? I also have, I'm grounded, scientific-based, but I do believe in this stuff. And some of the stuff that I've seen and felt and experienced, there was no way science could explain those, but there was no way that science could provide those transformations for me. So, yeah. I would love to know what you think of this. If you haven't checked out the other videos, please do so. They are truly, they are informative. And then I'll see you in the next one, where we're talking about sexual energy and erotic energy cultivation. That one's also important. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.